of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please join me as I pray. As always, Father, we're thankful for the blessings of this day and just a new day of life that we can enjoy the place that we live. And Father, we pause in the meeting at this time to acknowledge who is really in control of not only this meeting, but our country and our world. And Father, we know that we confess that we're a people of imperfect minds, that sometimes we make good decisions, sometimes we make bad, but you require perfection. And so we confess, Lord, that we're short in so many ways, and we look to you to be our guidance and our wisdom. And these commissioners, as they conduct the business of this county, they look to you for wisdom and guidance because they realize that they are not always perfect in their thinking. We can only make decisions based on the information we have. And Lord, we trust in you to give us that information to make perfect decisions so we can make this a better place for all of our citizens. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Good morning. We do roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Here.
Here.
Judge Mills.
Here, we do have a forum. And we have no one signed up to be heard, so we're going to consent agenda item. We have three, two of them of which are again animal control donations. Best Friends of Aransas County, $1,000 and $1,350 from Humane Society of the United States, Chewy, and People Assisting Animals Corpus Christi. Thank you both for your donations.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
I second that.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Russo. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Lombard.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye. Item number 4, I approve the resolution R 2022 designating November 7th, 2022 through November 11th, 2022 for observing Operation Greenlight for veterans and encourage all citizens of Aransas County to honor the veterans by displaying green lights at their homes and businesses. Second, Commissioner Cheney. We're going to read this because it's special.
Resolution R 2022. Whereas the residents of Aransas County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas Aransas County seeks to honor these individuals who have paid the high price for freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in the American Legion, veterans of foreign wars, religious groups, civil service, and by functioning as county veteran service officers in 29 states to help fellow former service members access more than $52 billion in federal health, disability, and compensation benefits each year. And whereas approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian communities annually. And whereas an estimated 20% increase of service members will transition to civilian life in the near future. And whereas studies indicate that 44 to 72% of service members experience high levels of stress during transition from military to civilian life. And whereas active military service members transitioning from military service are at high risk for suicide during their first year after military service. And whereas the National Association of Counties encourages all counties, parishes, and boroughs to recognize Operation Greenlight for veterans. Whereas Aransas County appreciates the sacrifice of our United States military personnel and believes specific resignation should be granted. Therefore, be it resolved, with designation as a green light for Veterans County, Aransas County hereby declares from November 7th through Veterans Day, November 11th, 2022, a time to salute and honor the service and sacrifice of our men and women in uniform transitioning from active service. Therefore, be it further resolved that in observance of Operation Greenlight, Aransas County encourages its citizens in patriotic tradition to recognize the importance of honoring all those who made immeasurable sacrifices to preserve freedom by displaying a green light in a window of their place of business or residence. Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Laubach,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 5,
I move to approve the third quarter 2022 report for Rockport Fulton Chamber of Commerce.
I'll second it.
motion made and seconded. Yes, ma'am. But up to the mic, please. State your name, please.
Yes, I'm Beth Journay, and I am currently serving as the interim president and CEO at the Rockport Fulton Chamber of Commerce. You notice I don't say taking Diane Propst's place because that is impossible. So, and you'll know that, you'll be sure of that after I give this report. Anyway, so we have put together the third quarter report for you and the use of the hotel occupancy tax funds. Am I supposed to control this? Okay. Sorry, my first time. Okay, so what we've given you is some highlights from July, August, and September of the great things going on in the Rockport Fulton area. It's our journey exhibit. If you have not had a chance to see that, hopefully you were at the reception that was done on August the 25th to open the exhibit. And it continues to have people strolling through it and actually in awe of what they see when they come in and see that exhibit. That event that we had on the 25th, we had over probably 200 people were there, come and go visitors on that particular day. And of course, every day people come through. Then we had the Hummerbird celebration. More than 3,000 attendees were recorded at the Hummer Mall. This I thought was pretty impressive. We were not taking zip codes every minute of the celebration, of course, but in the 1,369 zip codes that were captured, we had a result of 215 local, 1,092 were from across the state of Texas, and 60 were, excuse my typo, were out-of-state visitors, and then 2 from Germany. And I actually happen to know one from Ukraine because I had an opportunity to visit with her, and it was pretty amazing to see how much she actually loved being here for that. The Geo Tour anniversary celebrated in November, and we've now had up to 3,901 finds, and it still continues to track well. The state co-op advertising provided at no cost with EDA grant. Marketing promotion, local meetings and attractions, of course, are all part of everything that we do every day. The next slide that you'll see in there is, I just wanted to give you a snapshot. Now, keep in mind that this is just through June, the first 6 months, actually. And so we anticipate that we will track as well as we did in 2021 moving forward to complete the year. Then the next slide, few slides are just giving you some of the information that we're able to get by partnering with some of the marketing firms that we partner with to get our message out every day. They are able to track so much of this and give us the results of how our website is tracking, how our social media is tracking, all of that. So it's great to, you can just throw advertising out there and sometimes you never know what you get from it, but they are able to tell us like how many people are looking at Rockport Fulton electronically and all that. So that's very helpful as we plan and move forward. And again, the same thing on the next page. If y'all have any questions about that, please ask me and I'll defer to Evelyn back here. Thanks for being with me, Evelyn. Okay, and then on and again, just more of the tracking and the statistics that we receive from Prost Marketing. I've not, in my career, almost 25-year career, I've never had an opportunity to work with a marketing firm like this. And they have just been amazing. I mean, it's just pick up the phone and feel like you're talking to an old friend every time, walk you through things. And it's real nice to know that they've got your back and they're watching everything you're doing and really helping you track and take care of the dollars and make sure that they're well spent. Next, we have just another report on Humminbird. It actually tells you a little more in detail how many people took the guided boat trips, the people who participated. 96 people participated in a photography class. I thought that was pretty impressive. And again, over 1,000 actually were watching as the birds were banded, the demonstration of that. Another thing that I think is so impressive, and I just have to say this every time I speak about this chamber, is that also in my career, never have I seen volunteers that give so much to this community and everything that's going on. Not only do they show up, they take charge, they take responsibility, and it's always a job well done. And for an event like this, approximately 172 volunteers helped us with Humminbird. Just a little more about where we advertise and what we did. Billboards, you can see there where the billboards were placed. Print publications, Texas Monthly, Texas Highways, Texas Parks and Wildlife. And then we also have more deadlines that are approaching. And then the digital media heavy on the geo-targeting areas, also receiving good solid responses. And again, that's the information that our marketing firm that we partner with and work with provides for us on a regular basis. And then next we have this venue tax report that I received actually from the county and with very good information. As you can see over on the far right, we're up 11% with the venue taxes that are collected. So that's absolutely a good sign. People are since COVID, people are out and about and they're ready to go out and have a good time and enjoy some, touring beautiful places like Rockport, Fulton. The next, went too far. The next report is just it's a report on our visitor center, just the numbers of people. And I'd like for you to take note at the bottom, visitor center numbers in July. You see how they're kind of staying the same, July and August. 394, 384, and then in September, 1,260. Trust me, we felt that during Humminbird celebration. There were so many people coming in and out, and which was great to have that Harvey exhibit there at the time, the Journey to Resilience, our Journey of Resilience. It was great to have that there because people took advantage they're coming in to find out information about Humminbird and were pleasantly surprised to see such a nice exhibit with so much information about the area. And what's coming up, of course, it's already passed by the time we do this report, but for October, November, and December, we had Seafair weekend. I hope you had a chance to come out or at least drive by and see that it was very well attended. Lots of people. I don't have numbers for you on that yet, but we will have those soon. We're working on a debrief and just, always trying to figure out how to make it bigger, better, and serve the purpose that it's there for. Fulton Fall Festival will be this weekend. I know I've heard so many great things about that. I'm really quite sad I'm not going to be here for it because I go home on the weekend. My family kind of expects me to come home on the weekends. I don't know what's up with that. And then the Shop Small Saturday is always a great event here. You have so many wonderful places to shop. And I'm telling you that, and I know y'all get out and about and you travel other places, but if you don't recognize what a treasure you have here in your small business owners and your little wonderful places to shop, I hope that you do notice that and and think about how awesome it is to have those places here, because every place doesn't have that. Trust me. Where I come from, we don't. And then just to show y'all that some of the advertising, this was the part, the EDA grant that we got at no cost. We received several promotions and we'll be working with the state to supply materials on that as well. And then just the next slides are just some examples of the creative advertising that's been done, the digital and then the outdoor. And then I just want to say thank you from myself, and Evelyn did a really great job of helping me put this together. I guess you all know Evelyn Guidry.
Oh, yes.
Evelyn. She's kind of famous around here. And then we have the actual financial report for you for your review. You can see how those dollars were spent. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? I'd
Thank you.
like to personally thank you for coming down and helping the Chamber of Commerce in their transition. We do appreciate it. You've done a great job, I understand, from all the chamber members.
Well, thank you so much. That's very nice to hear. It's nice to get a compliment on something that's been such an enjoyment to me and so much fun. I'll leave a piece of my heart here and take friendships that'll last a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Laubach,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye. Unanimous. Item 6.
I move to approve the third quarter 2022 report for Friends of the History Center.
Second.
Motion made, second, Mr. Castelline. Come on up, Pam. Tell us about it.
Good morning. Glad to meet you guys this morning. So I'm here to report on the summertime, essentially July, August, and September for the Friends of the History Center. We have continued to hold our Sunday programs that go along with the Unsung Heroines, which was an exhibit that we had up for 4 months. Our most recent program was called Thank You, Suffragettes. So we had a reenactment of some of the suffragettes that did so much to bring that movement forward. This exhibit was well received. We really highlighted a lot of the different women in Aransas County, what they've done over the years and how they've contributed to the county history. Then we partnered with the other entities in town to hold family Saturdays during the summer. And this was one of the family Saturdays that was held at the History Center. We went also to the Fulton Mansion and to the Maritime Museum, and the Bay Education Center to hold these programs for families on Saturdays. We had a pretty good attendance. It was a new program proposed by Joe Fox from the Fulton Mansion. So we joined in with that. We also worked very hard to stay connected to the state, and especially through the Texas Tropical Trails, which is the regional trail system that the Texas Historic Commission supports. That, of course, you all probably realize Sandy Jumper has just moved to be the executive director for that group locally. But in July, we served as host for that group. We had over 50 people, and I conducted a history cruise for that group for those people who could go along on the history cruise. I've also participated in the Fulton Night Out program to let them know about all of the different exhibits that were being put up as a Harvey commemorative. So that night, I represented not only the History Center where we have an exhibit, but also the Fulton Mansion that has an exhibit in the chamber at that time. And I've worked with the Texas Historical Foundation, who are planning to bring their board meeting here in January. Our volunteers are, of course, a significant part of what we do at the History Center. They take care of our History Center over the weekends. We really appreciate that. And we appreciate the support that we get from the court through Aransas Pathways. We also have recently gotten grants to support some of our work and some of our programs from the Margaret C. Russ Foundation, the Coastal Bend Community Foundation, and the Historical Commission. Our exhibit that's currently up is called Weathering the Storms. It is a comparison of 1919 and 2017. It's very interesting. We took about 10 landmark buildings and had historic stories from 1919 for them. Then we interviewed their current owners and found out what happened at their places during Harvey. The outcome of that was truly historic buildings did fairly well. They had cosmetic damage, but not much structural damage. And maybe that's a good lesson for all of us. They're well built and have endured all of these years. again, we had, oops, sorry. We worked with the chamber to support the Hummingbird celebration. And this is a big event for us. We get to work with Pathways in a poker run. That's what you see on the left there. On the right, we had really a full house or a full yard for the Hummingbird breakfast. And that's a wonderful opportunity for us. We appreciate that the Hummingbird committee continues to hold this breakfast in our backyard, because that gives us a chance to visit with the people who come in and get them into the History Center itself. Lastly, we continue to have the exhibit called Voices from the Past, which is in 2 rooms, a separate gallery from the main gallery where we change exhibits. This exhibit will stay up for the next 2 to 3 years. So if you haven't seen it, or if you have visitors in town, please send them to see this particular exhibit. It tells a little bit, it's a timeline actually of Aransas County through the years, and people really enjoy this. Finally, social media is where we're trying to also be prominent. We did a workshop actually at the chamber last week, learning more about what to do about social media. But as we have not gained back all of the people walking through the door, we're really trying to spend more time on our digital efforts. So here you see numbers, which are pretty representative and pretty good for our little organization. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And again, I'd like to commend and thank you for all your hard work with this history, Friends of the History Center. And we appreciate everything that you and your volunteers do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Laubach.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 7.
I move to approve authorizing Road and Bridge to purchase a Vector 2100i vacuum excavator from Doggett Freightliner of South Texas, a buy board vendor, by utilizing available American Rescue Program Act grant funds in the amount of $469,127.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded twice. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney.
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Laubach.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 8.
I move to approve renewing a contract with Thompson Reuters for access to Clear Proflex, an online investigation resource used to locate individuals and to prevent, detect, and investigate fraud for the cost of approximately $6,872.64 annually for the first year, with a capped 5% annual increase for the following 2 years, for a total possible contract term of 36 months.
Second.
Motion made, second, Commissioner Castleline. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, is this going to allow you to look for people across the state or?
It's
Aransas County?
nationwide, and it actually has some in Canada and in Mexico as well.
Okay, is that going to be available to the general public to search for?
No.
people?
No, this is a very private thing. This is how we do skip tracing, which is for people who aren't paying their fines and court costs to try to find new phone numbers and addresses. And also when we are doing the affidavit of indigence process, we can search to see if they own properties, vehicles, and other things to show their assets.
So this will be an additional tool that's available to the sheriff if they're looking for people.
I do searches for the sheriff. He opted not to use this program.
Right, okay.
So this is, I understand it, this is an existing contract and the
Yes.
only change today is that the cost is going up somewhat. Is that increased cost? First, how much is it and is it covered in your budget?
It is not covered in the budget. It's a $789 increase for the year over 3 departments. So $263 for each department.
Can those departments not pick it up in their budgets? Pick up the
We're
increase?
not going to ask for additional monies. It'll be absorbed from other areas, is my understanding.
I don't understand what absorb from other areas means. Does that mean that other budget that can be moved around from other budgets? Jackie?
If necessary,
Okay, so you
Anything
don't
that's
expect to
over-
hit on the general fund, I guess
I
is
don't
what I'm,
expect it
okay,
to
thanks.
hit fund balance no more.
Appreciate it.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item number 9.
Move to approve authorizing the county judge to sign an order with AT&T to provide dedicated circuits to Road and Bridge, Environmental Health, Animal Control, and AgriLife Extension Office for the total monthly rate of $1,800 plus any federal applicable fees.
I second it.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion? Roll call.
No,
What?
sir.
We do.
Sorry. Colin, are you going to respond to this? Judge Bianchi just walked in. I didn't know if he was going to talk about this. or not.
So we did go to Spectrum as you asked, and they came back for a 5-year commitment at $33,920 a month. So that'd be about $47,000 a year, which is about $34,000 more than we're currently paying. AT&T was $1,800 a month, so $2,100 or $21,000 a year, only about $9,000 more a year, split among the 7 departments that it affects. It's a very small increase that can be absorbed in the existing budget without affecting any of our fund balance.
Thank you for doing that, Colin.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 10.
Move to accept the letter of recommendation from Broadus and Associates Construction Manager Agent for Aransas County Downtown Anchor Project regarding bids received and their recommendation for awarding a contract for the downtown Anchor Aransas County Community Building and Plaza, a subject which is funded through a project which is funded through Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program administered by the Texas General Land Office and included in contract 20-065-098-C270.
Second.
Motion made, second, Commissioner Lombard. Any discussion?
I have just a couple questions for John, probably. On the form that showed what the companies were and what their respective bids were, when I think that font is about a 3, and so if we could get it a little bit bigger font, that would be good. But there were some options there that said alternate 1 and alternate 2. And then it showed like minus 30,000, minus 116,000. What were those alternates?
The one is, one was for a screening that goes between the 2 rooms. And the other one, I gotta go back and look. I don't remember exactly what that was. There was the bigger room could be separated into 2 rooms.
So John, how much of this is not being covered by the grant?
It's all being covered by the grant.
Okay, so it's not, we're not gonna touch the general fund except as emergency.
Right.
And we are not opting for either of those 2 alternates.
We didn't include it at this point. Yes, no, we have not.
And so the agenda item reads that we're accepting a recommendation from Broadus, but what the recommendation actually is to accept DLF.
DLF,
Okay.
DLF Texas is the proper name of the company.
And I think that's it.
They're the low bid.
I see. Okay.
The recommendation was base bid, right, which did not include the alternate.
Do not include the alternates. Isn't that correct on I don't have that form in front of me.
Okay, so basically we got 3 bids and this is low bid.
Low bid.
Thank you, John.
Thanks.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Hi.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 11.
Move to approve hiring resolution R 28-2022, a resolution of Aransas County Commissioners Court selecting DLF Texas as the successful bidder for the downtown Anchor Aransas County Community Building and Plaza project, a project which is funded through a Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Program grant administered by the Texas General Land Office and included in contract number 20-065 C 270, awarding a contract in the amount of $4,308,000, authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents, providing for severance and confirming compliance with the open meetings act.
I'll
second
second
that.
that.
Motion made, second, Commissioner Russo. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 12,
Move to approve the September 2022 treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Next item.
13.
What's my agenda?
I move to approve the third quarter treasurer's investment report.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded, Mr. Cheney. Any discussion?
I went to conference, last month or first part of this month, and it was talking about the reporting of, the investment report, how important it is. And I wanted to compliment, our treasurer on the fact that everything that they said in there, we're doing. And so I really appreciate that. We seem to be ahead of most counties on a lot of things, and I like it that way. But congratulations to your group,
you.
because you're hitting the nail on the head.
I do want to bring up the interest that we earned were, through the end of September, the operation funds has earned or accrued $117,700. And we had budgeted, right at 84,000, so we're way over. I have found a couple of investments that we've invested in that's anywhere from 4 to 5%. So by the end of the year, our average is going to look pretty good for this year. When we had a couple of bad years on the interest rates, we're at a 2-year negotiation point with our depository bank. I'm in talks with them to try to raise the rate a little bit. I'm not sure how far they're gonna go, but it has increased this month from 0.3 to 0.4. And then the investment pools are running at 2%, so. And also they have agreed to safe keep our investments as opposed to one of our broker dealers, safekeeping our investments that I buy outside of the bank. And that's all the updates I have on that so far. Any questions?
Okay,
Good job. Thank you.
thank you
Emma.
very much.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous.
I move to approve the 2023 fees for Aransas County Animal Control.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion?
Are they changing this year, Lori?
With the Best Friends was an unrestricted grant, that $1,000, so we're gonna start a microchip. So we'll have it as a service. I am accredited to microchip, so we're all good there. As a $10 fee. Our capability of Shelter Manager is I can pre-register the chips, and so they're attached to a person. Several of the communities are doing it as a free, which I'm gonna try to as well, some. They're not registering to the people, they're registering to the organization, but when I follow up, they don't have a person attached, but our Shelter Manager will let us pre-register and then attach a person. So maybe we can get them home faster and easier.
Thanks.
Okay?
Thank you.
I'd also like to just make a comment. Our shelter is just absolutely it couldn't be run any better, but it's full. And I think I think over the next couple of years or so, we're gonna have to look at either adding onto that shelter or doing something different, because we cannot continue to increase the amount of animals that animal control is having to deal with unless we increase the size of the shelter or go to a second shelter. We don't, this is really not time to talk about that, but I just want to put that out there.
It's, I don't think it's necessarily an increase in intakes. It's the disposition part is not moving. The outcomes aren't moving near as quickly. Average dog is staying 30 days, average cat 12. So that's increased. It was, half that prior. But everywhere is in the same bind that, and unfortunately, the only alternative would be euthanasia, which is not somewhere I really want to go.
No,
I can't help it.
in my precinct, I'm getting more and more dog calls all the time. And just driving in my
And most
precinct.
people want-
Yeah, well, that's really the issue is the abandonment. They take them out in the county and just turn them loose.
and they're not really for my-
No. I don't think they respect county lines.
Well,
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawbach.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous.
I move to approve transferring the collection specialist function personnel and 2023 budget allocation from the county court at law to the county clerk's office effective January 1st, 2023.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Cheney. Judge, how are you this morning?
I'm great. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge Mills. I'm Richard Bianchi, Judge of the County Court at Law. And it's just time to rearrange things a little bit based on personnel and the best way to handle things. As you know, Misty Kimbrough is moving to the county clerk's office come January. We only have one person in the collections department, and that's Misty. So from a training standpoint, it just makes sense that she would have the greatest possible access to training that person. In addition, it is from a backup standpoint, the county clerk has a few employees that can assist, be double trained, and be there when needed to back up. And we just don't have that. We don't have those employees in the county court at law.
So we're looking at adding one employee in the county clerks that can be trained by our existing clerk, which is our existing collections officer, which is now becoming the county clerk. And
Yes, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
And as I understand from our conversation, that it's simply a matter of transferring a person from one area to another. We're not increasing the number of employees, we're just simply transferring one from where they are now to a better location.
That is correct. And the budget goes with it. There's no new dollars here.
And you're bringing in the new person a few weeks early, but you found a way to work that out in the budget too.
Well,
So even though
that's-
we have a little
yes.
duplication for a few
That,
weeks.
that's a separate motion from what we're dealing with
Right,
here,
okay.
but that is going to be requested just once again to facilitate training and smoothness of transition.
Sure.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawbach.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I move to approve hiring the new collection specialist on December 12th, 2022 to replace Misty Kimbrough, County Clerk-elect.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion?
I just have one item, and thank you for the excellent rationale that you provided to explain this and how the money will all work. But on the actual job description, where it shows organizational relationship, it says reports to County Court at Law Judge Bianchi, and I think that should probably be changed.
There'll be 3 weeks where they report to County Court at Law Judge.
Okay,
And then when I take office, we will then the same day do a new job description,
description?
exactly the same, but
right.
reporting to county clerk.
thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castro,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawbach.
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 17.
Move to approve posting OPR official public records deputy clerk position on November 21st, 2022. Interview the week of December 5th, 2022, offer the position on December 12th, 2022, and start the position on January 3rd, 2023.
Motion made.
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Cheney. Any discussion?
I just have one question. In the background, you mentioned that this position will be offered at pay group 14, step 2. I'm wondering, why are you specifying step 2 and not just saying at pay group 14, and then you make the decision on the step at the time that person comes with whatever experience they have.
I looking at budget and for what traditionally people have been hired into that position, I left it the same and just did not know that I shouldn't put it in this statement because I'm new.
Would you be comfortable changing it to just at a pay
14,
group
absolutely.
14?
I'll amend my motion
Just
to
so you know,
read that
people
way.
have been hired at the 14-1.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Motion's been amended and seconded. Commissioner Castleline and Cheney.
It wasn't really amending the motion, was it? Because that was not in the motion.
Maybe it's amending the motion to make it contingent on that change.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, whatever. Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 18,
I move to approve authorizing county auditor to request the local assistance and tribal consistency fund distribution for Aransas County of $175,609.72 for fiscal year 22 and $175,609.72 for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
motion made and seconded, Commissioner Castleline. Any discussion?
What is this?
This is
funds that
ARPA, right?
I actually spoke to y'all about this last Commissioners Court. These are funds that were set aside under the American Rescue Plan for local assistance and tribal consistency fund. We qualify for these funds because of the refuge, because we receive payments, the payment in lieu of taxes from the Department of Interior on the Wildlife Refuge. We actually qualify for these funds. These are funds that there's nothing except just requesting them.
So what are they eligible to be used?
They are eligible to be used for anything that we would do government except lobbying. We cannot use them for lobbying. That is the only restriction.
But it can't be brought into the general fund?
It will be brought into the general fund. It will be with one of the funding sources that I had recommended for the new equipment that we needed for the computer stuff for
The new courthouse.
the new
Ah,
courthouse. This
good.
is some of that funding.
So we haven't yet made it, we aren't today making a decision how to spend them, but that's
No,
one of the
it's
things that would
just
be available for.
requesting
Yes, ma'am.
To, just giving me authorization to request the funds.
Or for drainage.
Yes.
Roll call.
Commissioner Casterline, Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Item 19,
I move to approve budget line item transfers.
Second.
motion made and seconded, Mr. Castleline. Any discussion?
Are there any, Jen?
We do not have any at this time.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye. Item 20,
Move to approve accounts payable and payroll liabilities.
I'll second that.
motion made and seconded, Mr. Cheney. Any discussion? Roll call.
Anything to
We
note?
have nothing unusual. There is one in the 2016 bond issue. You will see there's two charges, basically almost the same. One is an error. We will be voiding that check. There were some numbers transposed, so we just went ahead and did the correct, and then we will void the one that was incorrect.
Which department was that, Jackie?
The 336 was the fund number, the 2016 bond issue. It was for carpeting for the Public Safety Center, for the office that the insurance did not cover. We chose to go ahead and recarpet all of that so everything matched.
Okay.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Lava,
Aye.
Judge Mills.
Aye, unanimous. Now's the time for any elected official or department head that come up and tell us whatever's needed to be said. I do have Judy that wants to come up and talk to us about Aransas County Beautiful, or keep Aransas County beautiful and their accomplishments here lately.
Thank you, Judge. I'm Judy Sutterfield, and I'm here today representing Keep Aransas County Beautiful. Commissioners Court. Keep Aransas County Beautiful would like to acknowledge to the court several outstanding entities that were involved with the recent vessel turn-in program. Entities outside of Aransas County, as well as several entities within the county, collaborated together to help bring this event to fruition. And without the assistance of these parties, the event would not have been as successful. The VTIP event was held September 9th and 10th. It yielded the surrender of 18 vessels, 3 canoes or kayaks, and 3 separated boat trailers. These surrendered vessels came directly from properties within our Aransas County neighborhoods. This time, we'd like to acknowledge to the Aransas County Commissioners the following entities. General Land Office. They were instrumental in setup of the turn-in and including producing flyers and releasing information to media. Globe provided facilities to collect any oil or gas that was collected, as well as on-site support for both days of the event. They also arranged for discounted disposal of the collected vessels. Texas Parks and Wildlife, on-site support for both days, provided verification that the vessels were eligible for release to the program and documented the vessels for proper disposal. Aransas County Airport provided site for the event. The airport staff went above and beyond in support of this event. The staff delivered, set up, and maintained a large fan unit for the duration of the 2 days. They checked on the turn-in several times each day to see if they could provide additional support. The support provided by Aransas County Airport was greatly appreciated. City of Rockport. The City of Rockport joined this event in spirit of collaboration. They provided on-site support as well as electronic signs advertising the event. Aransas County Environmental Department. This department provided the bulk of the support or work in this event. The department was involved in the pre-event setup, logistics, and provided on-site personnel throughout the event. They were also tasked with the work involved with disposal of the collected vessels. Special thanks goes out to Adam Narejo, an environmental department employee who provided amazing support throughout the event. I have since learned that the event created 23,420 pounds of debris that Valerie's department hauled off. Keep Aransas County Beautiful members are honored to be able to join these outstanding entities and providing support to the Aransas County community. Thank you for the opportunity to bring their accomplishments to your attention.
Thank you, Judy, and all that Keep Aransas County Beautiful does, as well as the entities that work with you. Thank you very much. Anything else? 48 minutes. Wow. Motion.
Move to adjourn.
Motion second, Commissioner Cheney. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.